Well, hello there and good morning, ladies. It's time for Shadowlands, and this will be a quick week 1 first look / review so far. Well, I can tell you for already right now, I'm currently at around 176 gears or something. Not buying any BOEs. I did all of my mythic zeros. I did basically everything I could. Even my professions are basically all maxed out. I've done skinning and leatherworking, and I'm obviously also done cooking and fishing. I did get one mount already, and I mean, so far it's been, I've been basically doing everything, but that's already kind of the issue. Like it normally is with WoW expansions, there isn't that much to do after you've done, you know, the initial part. It took me around 15 to 16 hours after reaching max level to basically do everything for the entire week, besides obviously dailies. So with that being said, let's take a look at the leveling first. Okay, leveling. This will probably be one of the most, well, controversial points in this video, and, well, I hated it. I hated the leveling because it was far too much on rails. That being said, a lot of people seem to really enjoy it. Now, let's explain that for a second. If you enjoy a very lore-driven, on-rails leveling experience, then leveling is perfect for you this time around. It's actually so story-driven, and it has a lot of lore to it, so if you're into that, you'll probably love it. For everyone else that wants a little bit more freedom and prefers a more sandboxy style of leveling, this is probably the worst experience you could possibly have. I think this was probably the worst leveling experience I've ever had in WoW. BFA was kind of close, but this was... at least it was short, you know, at least it was short. I prefer being a little more, being a little more free, you know, giving you a little bit more freedom. And just for an example, if you want to progress further than Ardenweald, so the last story part of Ardenweald, you will have to be level 58. You can't do it before, you can't do it after. If you're not 58, you can't progress. With that being said, if you actually reach level 60 before finishing the campaign, you can also not go into endgame. You have to finish the campaign. To finish the campaign, you need level 60 once you're in Revendreth to complete the questline again. So it's like, it gives you all of these layers of restrictions, and I just really disliked it. But there's one redeeming factor about this. This will not be a thing anymore after your first character. So all of your alts, if you play alts, well, you can choose if you want to do the campaign or if you want to be doing like a more free leveling experience where you can just rush experience in dungeons or wherever the hell you want. So with that being said, leveling for me was a big no, but I can understand why some people enjoy it. Okay, let's talk about dungeons for a second. I was actually very positively surprised by how well done the dungeons were. Especially in comparison to BFA, and I would even say Legion. I really enjoyed the dungeons. They're a little bit too long for my taste, but in general and in total, they've actually really outdone themselves. I think the dungeons were quite interesting, quite unique, had unique mechanics to them, very, well, good attention to detail, and on top of that, like the Covenant interactions and also the story of them was actually quite, well, engaging, honestly. So in total, I would say dungeons are probably so far my favorite part of the new expansion. I was very positively surprised by this. I hope they keep doing this. The only problem is I will have to rerun Spires of Ascension around 1 billion times until I get my legendary recipe. But well, outside of that, I quite like the dungeons actually. You know what, I'll add a little bit of something to this as well, which has nothing to do with dungeons, but I just want to mention it. The lag that I've experienced in the beginning, the first few days, and I still do actually, is horrible. I just want to mention it here. I mean, to be fair, I'm playing on probably one of the worst servers for this, which is Draenor. But when it comes to lag, this has been my worst well, launch experience so far. I just wanted to add that on top of that. And yeah, as I said, dungeons are great. I'm looking forward to Mythic Plus in 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks, and I hope they keep making good dungeons like this. Okay, let's talk about professions for a second. As I said before, I've done skinning, leatherworking, fishing, and cooking so far. And I must say, in the beginning I was very excited for this because they tried to bring back professions in a more, well, streamlined manner. So we get back armor kits, for example, for leatherworking, and we get like weapon oils, and blacksmith gets weapon whetstones and stuff like that. And I was actually quite looking forward to this, but now that I've experienced it myself and I've basically done all of it, there's something missing. But what I mean by that, maybe you guys remember from back in the day when they introduced the kind of leveling system of specific recipes that you had in Legion. They also carried that over to BFA to an extent, but right now all of that is gone. So just to give you an example, in skinning, all I'm doing is go to a mob, kill it, and skin it, and it drops one of 3, I believe, crafting materials. So desolate leather, callous leather, and a bone, or no bone. Obviously you can make those to heavy desolate and heavy callous, and those can drop as well, but you know what I mean, like it's incredibly shallow. Like I've not experienced any shallowness of that degree before. Same with everything else. It feels like the entire system feels like the entire professions are so quickly just over with. I mean, you can get a couple of recipes from rep here and there, but in general, I must say professions have been a letdown for me. I didn't like them. I did do a lot of them just for money, but in total, I think this is a big downgrade in comparison, especially in comparison to Legion. This is a big downgrade. There's also no profession quest lines or anything that I could find just now. So far, this has been, while they try to make them more relevant, and I think that will work, they still feel extremely bare bones. Okay, so let's talk about Torghast for a second. This is the way you entry basically out of the maw. It's very simple, and this is the rune carver's room, which is basically useless right now because you can't craft anything until next week, since they decided to time gate that as well. So right now there's only 2 different parts of Torghast unlocked in the first week. Let's just take a look and go to the first one. Both of them only have 3 layers to them, or 3 floors, I guess. And well, doing them only once will grant you all of the rewards you can get. So, and also every single one of these layers has 6 floors, which is very, very little. If you've ever, well, done one of these, it's actually super quick. It maybe takes 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at max. And that's just really, really, well, it's short for a roguelike. If you really want to make cool builds and, I don't know, get your character to be super good, this is not long enough at all. Obviously, there will be an 18 floor layer enabled eventually, but I did hear that the infinite layer, the infinite Torghast, was removed in the beta as well. So I'm pretty sure that we won't get that anymore, which I think is a horrible idea. But yeah, that's basically what it is. And obviously these are also time gated. As you can see, you can't go in until like whenever they feel like unlocking them, unfortunately. Yep, that is basically Torghast. Actually, I should mention one more thing. The anima powers you get from Torghast are actually quite boring. At least for Enhancement Shaman, I haven't seen like really any Enhancement Shaman specific anima powers. I haven't seen a single Storm Strike anima power, a single Lava Lash anima power. I've seen a Flame Shock one, but that goes for all of the shamans, right? I haven't seen a Crash Lightning one besides the one that gives you the talent of Crashing Storm. I've seen Ascendance ones. I don't even think I've seen Feral Spirit ones. But it's like, I don't know, the anima powers so far are very, very, very limited. It doesn't feel like a new run every time you do it. You're just looking for the same exact power every run, which is if whenever you Bloodlust, you gain Ascendance, and whenever you gain Ascendance the first time you press Bloodlust, that you don't get a sated debuff. That's basically what you're doing. So if you don't get that, then you will be a lot weaker. That's I don't know. For me, this has been really, really boring, honestly. I think Torghast is probably the most disappointing part so far, and it's definitely a thumbs down from me. Okay, this is gonna be the last part of today's video. You can see a little bit of the Maw in the background, which is also part of the topic, but also a little bit of PvP. I did a little bit of both. The Maw honestly has been, like, it's not even worth mentioning almost. That's how boring it is. Like, the Eye of the Jailer is basically non-existent until you get one shot. And, well, the entire zone feels incredibly empty and just kind of pointless. Like, you do your 2 dailies there every day, and that's basically it. Like, there's no other real reason to go there. I don't know. I was also very, very disappointed by the Maw. I've seen a lot of reviews before already from the beta, and well, most people echo that same opinion. Also, just a quick mention at the end here for PvP. I've been actually having quite a lot of fun in PvP so far. The new PvP gearing system is in, and it's actually quite cool again in that sense. So if you're liking to just spam some BGs and some skirmishes right now, you will probably have good fun with that. Outside of that, that was basically everything important. The real content will start until, well, will start around 1.5 weeks from now, when we get Mythic Plus, Rated Arenas, and normal and heroic raids. So yeah, until then, there's not much else to say. If you have anything to add, or maybe you want to be angry that I said Torghast was bad, please type a comment down below. And well, I'll see you in like 1.5 weeks when I do, and probably a little bit more, obviously. I need a little bit of time to, you know, get a feel for the new content. But yeah, until then, and thanks for watching. Peace.